I'd been Serena's brother for 10 years, and I was done playing the part. I ground the cigarette butt under my heel and asked, Serena, will you marry me, brother? The way she hesitated told me everything. I nodded, turned around, and went on a blind date. But the moment I finally gave up waiting and decided to marry the girl who'd been healing me all along, Serena had regrets. She clutched my sleeve and begged, brother, don't marry her, marry me, okay? Serena was the little sister I'd picked up off the street when we were kids. For 10 years we had only each other, and somewhere along the way I fell in love. The day I realized another guy had appeared beside her, I knew that if I didn't confess, I might lose her for good. After I finally said the words, though, Serena started avoiding me. That day was my birthday. I got to Riverdale early to pick her up. The weather had turned cold. The trees outside campus were bare. I kicked at the leaves piled on the sidewalk. When I spotted her, I started forward, only to watch her stop and wait for Kyle. I tucked myself behind a big tree. Suddenly I had to steal a look at how she and Kyle were together. They walked on, hand in hand, laughing. Halfway down the block Serena's lace came undone. Kyle knelt and tied it carefully. When they were almost in front of me, I hesitated. Should I step out? And they turned the corner. Serena, don't go home tonight, okay? I heard Kyle say. If I don't go home, where would I stay? Let's get a hotel room. They kept walking. By the time I snapped out of it and ran after them, they were gone. I yanked my phone out and called Serena. First call, no answer. I tried again. Second, third, fourth, still nothing. On the fifth, the call was rejected. I slumped in the driver's seat and smacked the steering wheel in frustration. A minute later a text popped up. Brother, I'm not coming home tonight, asterisk asterisk. I typed back instantly. Serena, it's my birthday, asterisk asterisk happy birthday. I'll bring you a huge strawberry shortcake tomorrow to make up for it, asterisk asterisk. When I called again, her phone was off. Back at the off-campus duplex, the rooms felt like ice. The table was set with every dish she loved, including, at the corner, a strawberry shortcake. In the first years after I found her we had a roof. Barely. But money was tight. I couldn't afford even a plain cupcake, let alone strawberry shortcake. That year, on my birthday, she showed up clutching a single slice, face smudged, blood at the corner of her mouth. I knew she'd swiped it from the bakery and been caught and beaten for it. She blinked up at me. Brother, let's spend every birthday together from now on, okay? I fed her the cake, bite by bite. Deal. My birthday is your birthday. We'll share strawberry shortcake every year. She pushed the lone strawberry into my mouth. No, my birthday has to be yours too. That way we get 2 birthdays and 2 cakes every year. But tonight the girl who promised to spend birthdays with me wasn't coming home. She finally walked in near dawn the next day, flicked on the living room light, and stared when she saw me. Brother, you're still up. I tossed my cigarette butt to the floor and crushed it. Serena, come here. She obeyed, sitting beside me. Serena, are you absolutely sure you won't be with me, won't marry me? She froze. She must have thought I'd never bring it up again. After a long silence she shook her head. Brother, you'll always be my brother. I murmured, all right, go to bed. She looked back 3 times before whispering goodnight from the doorway. I stayed on the couch all night. The moon kept me company, and the door I kept watching never opened. Serena's heart had never been mine. I kept replaying the shock on her face when I'd asked, the chill in her voice when she said she had a boyfriend. Even the birthday makeup cake she'd promised, she'd broken that too. Not loving me isn't a crime. I was the one who picked her up and told her to call me brother. She's my sister, but she has every right to love and be loved by someone else, doesn't she? Lately Serena dodged me every day. By the time I got up to drive her to campus she was already gone. After classes she'd text, don't pick me up. Whenever I asked, she snapped that she was busy finishing her thesis. I stopped pressing. While she was finishing her thesis, I kept busy with blind dates. The fastest way out of one love is into another, right? Since my feelings only confused her, I'd try to let go. The woman I met was Maya, looked like a crisp office pro, acted like a kindergartner. She dragged me to places I hadn't visited since I was 10, marbles, arcade consoles, then the claw machine. Try this. She shoved a grilled skewer into my hand, then darted off for stinky tofu. Before I'd swallowed the skewer, she stuffed a chunk of stinky tofu in my mouth. Authentic, taste it. While she hunted for candied Haw sticks I caught her wrist. Can we at least swing by so I can change? I was still in the dress shirt and suit I'd worn to the office. Maya looked me up and down. You're fine, hot, actually. Come on. Watching her scarf snacks up ahead, I laughed in spite of myself. We hung out every single day after that. One evening, evening, while we were weaving through street vendors, I spotted Kyle. The girl on his arm wasn't Serena. I yanked Maya back and quickly explained. She rolled up her sleeves. That two-timing dirtbag. I calmed her. He's seen me. Go fish for info so we don't jump the gun. Maya flashed an okay. I ducked into a doorway and watched her accidentally bump the other girl. Kyle's arm shot around the girl's waist. Candy, you okay? Candy shook her head. I'm fine, Kyle. After seating her, Kyle glanced around, saw no one with Maya, and got in her face. You blind. You hit my girl. How you gonna pay? He shoved her for emphasis. Maya, in heels from work, lost her balance and hit the pavement. Kyle spat. Quit faking. Pay up. I'm taking my girl to St. Hospital. He reached to grab her. I stepped in, locking his arm. Touch her and see what happens. Kyle winced, recognized me, and started stammering. B brother, listen. I didn't mean. I flung his arm away. Stay away from Serena. Then I took Maya straight to St. Hospital. When we got back, Serena was on the couch. Before I could speak, she glared. Brother, how could you? I pointed at myself. Me, what did I do? Realization hit. Did that punk feed you some story? She jumped up. Can you stop being such a dictator? Dictator again? She practically pictured me in a landlord's cap. So I like Kyle. Why can't you accept it? Why go after him and warn him to stay away? We honestly love each other. You can't. She squeezed her eyes shut and blurted. You can't beat him up just because you're in love with me. I beat him up? I stared, stunned. You showed up, yelled, left him bruised black and blue. A dry laugh escaped me as I dropped onto the sofa. So you're telling me he said I came to him, beat him up, and warned him to stay away from you? Serena sniffled. You hit him way too hard. I didn't lay a finger on him. I caught him two-timing. So I told him to back off from you, nothing more. Brother, you hit him. Just admit it. Why lie and dump all the blame on Kyle? Serena looked at me, disappointment brimming in her eyes. If you really love me, let me go chase my own happiness. Kyle is the happiness I choose. Serena. I cut her off. Why? From start to finish. Haven't you bothered to ask me what actually happened? Whatever Kyle told you, you swallow it whole? Ever since the day I picked Serena up, my life tangled itself with hers and never let go. We rolled through childhood scrapes and later waded through the dirty games of a world that worships profit. I've kept only a handful of friends. The one person I trust is Serena. In my life, besides myself, there is only Serena. I thought she felt the same. Yet in the end, she'd rather believe an outsider than the one who stood by her all these years. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just... Tears slipped down Serena's cheeks. She wiped them frantically, then clutched my arm. I believe you. Okay, just... don't mess with Kyle anymore. From now on I'll listen to whatever you say. Promise. I let out a short laugh and brushed her hand away. Relax. Starting today, I'm done interfering in you and Kyle's business. Bro, why didn't you pick me up again today? Serena was curled up on the couch. Tell me, how long has it been since you came for me? I carried the last dish out of the kitchen, glanced at her, and said flatly, I'm swamped. She snorted. Busy doing what? The office has been dead lately. Come clean. Are you going on blind dates? I set the braised fish on the table and untied my apron. Yep. She scrunched her face at the fish. Why on earth did you make fish? Serena loathes fish. Your sister-in-law likes it. Her chopsticks froze midair. She spun around, eyes wide. Sister-in-law? I nodded and grabbed my coat. I'm heading down to get her. When I came back with Maya, Serena was parked on the couch, and one of the 3 place settings had vanished. You already ate? She didn't answer, just glared at the TV. I shrugged off my jacket. Maya stepped forward, holding the gift she'd picked out. You must be Serena. This is for you. Hope you like it. Serena never took her eyes off the screen. She didn't even look at the box. I took Maya's hand. Ignore her. I made the braised fish you love. Try it. Whenever I spoke to Maya, Serena cranked the television louder. I shook my head. Kids, so childish. Maya smiled and served me some vegetables. It's fine. All kids have moods. Something we said must have struck a nerve. Serena hurled the remote to the floor and marched over. I'm not a damn kid, she snapped. I have a boyfriend. In case you forgot, since our last fight, we'd kept Kyle's name out of the house. Now she'd flung him right back into the room. I gave her a cold glance. She glared back and stormed to her room. Maya just laughed off Serena's rudeness. Halfway through the walk to drop Maya off, she stopped. Ethan. She looked at me. The streetlight painted only me in her eyes. Are you in love with Serena? I chuckled. She's my sister. Then she's in love with you. The way she looked at me, pure jealousy. I ruffled her hair. You're reading it wrong. She's a kid who just saw her favorite toy taken away. The moon tonight was beautiful. I pulled Maya close. Since the day we started dating, there's been only you in my heart. I found Serena wrestling another kid for a steamed bun. She was filthy, clawing for that dirty bun. She'd split the kid's eyelid. Impressed by her fierceness, I bought 2 buns from a nearby stall and tossed them to her. She wolfed one down in 3 bites, then tucked the second inside her shirt. I started to leave. She trailed after me like a shadow. Hey, kid, I've gotta hit the restroom. You coming too? She kept silent, waited outside while I did my business, and stood in the exact same spot when I re-emerged. I headed home. She parked herself beneath my building's entrance. Up north, snow arrives early. Flakes drifted down the evening she camped there. I frowned at her shivering little ball of a body. You plan on following me forever? I nudged a pebble toward her. She turned, nodded like crazy, lips blue, and rasped, yes. I took her in, tore the apartment apart, and finally dug up a child-sized padded coat. I flung it at her and pointed to the bathroom. Shower. Then put that on. The bun she'd guarded appeared on the table. Even while heading to bathe, she kept her eyes on it. I rolled my eyes. I'm not stealing your bun. She shook her head. It's for you. I froze. When the bathroom door shut, I picked up the cold, hard bun. She'd fought for scraps, yet saved one for the guy who'd just tossed her too. So she shadowed me because she worried I'd go hungry. Having been hungry herself, she hated seeing someone else starve. I bit into the bun. Ugh. Stale and awful. Still, I finished every crumb, clean and changed. The little runt looked almost cute. I rubbed her head. What's your name? Blinking up at me, she said, Serena. Pretty name. My mom picked it. You can't change it. I laughed. Relax. I just need something to call you. She nodded. Did you eat the bun? Yep. I flopped onto the couch and lit a cigarette. Tasted like cardboard. Don't save me any next time. She gave a small hum. Since you ate my bun, you owe me something better. That's when it hit me. My whole sob story had been a joke. Still, I cursed my way into the kitchen and cooked her a bowl of tomato egg noodles. That night kicked off 10 straight years of cooking for Serena. Our life together was one long hustle. We tasted every kind of bitterness, once scrapping with dogs over scraps. Now, at last, Serena was about to graduate from Riverdale. I figured the clouds had finally parted. That night Serena texted me, "Bro, you coming to get me?" I snorted. I was already idling at the campus gate, and she thought I was still home snoozing. Before I could answer, another bubble popped up. If you haven't left yet, don't bother. I scanned the crowd outside the gate. Since day one I'd ferried her to and from school, and she always shot me a heads up if she planned to hang out with friends. She'd never canceled last second. A bad feeling gnawed me. I hopped out of the car. I spotted Serena right away, except today a guy strolled beside her. Both of them laughing like old buddies. I'd never seen him before. Just as she was about to walk past, I called, "Serena." She froze, flushed, then shuffled over, hands behind her back. "Bro, what are you doing here?" Same tone she used whenever she'd messed up as a kid. "Picking you up." I eyed the stranger. "Classmate of yours?" She nodded, biting her lip, looking every inch the child caught red-handed. "Brother." The guy greeted me with perfect politeness. I gave a curt hum and draped the coat I'd brought over Serena's shoulders. "It's freezing today, and you walk out without a jacket." "Not cold." She poked her tongue at me, then looped her arm through mine and whispered, "Brother, I've got my thermal shirt on." My scowl cracked into a laugh. She used to hate thermals. Every winter I begged her to wear one she'd grown there for grandma's. Tonight she'd actually put it on without a fight. I ruffled her hair, steered her into the car, and only then realized the boy was still standing there. Serena leaned out the passenger window. "Kyle, see you tomorrow." I brushed past him, and in that instant I felt the raw, restless pulse of teenage summer. "Brother, don't pick me up tomorrow." Head down. She was already tapping on her phone. The light turned green. The car in front didn't move. I punched the horn. She looked up, puzzled. "Brother, what's wrong? Early menopause?" I frowned. Words stuck halfway. "Brother, don't tell me you got dumped. Go back to your game." She rolled her eyes and disappeared into her screen again. Suddenly I pictured her flirting with that same boy on WhatsApp. Emojis flying back and forth. I rolled the window down, desperate for air. The blast of cold slapped me awake. "Brother, you've got the heat on and the window down. Want to catch pneumonia?" She kept calling me brother, soft and worried. God knows I wanted to yell, "To hell with brother, I never asked to be yours." Next afternoon she reminded me not to come. I nodded. When the last bell rang I was still parked at the curb, half a cigarette burning. Serena stepped out with the same Kyle from yesterday. He murmured something. She punched his shoulder, then dropped her gaze. I knew the look, cheeks and ears on fire. The way it's been since she was 6. Kyle's fingers laced through hers. The cigarette burned down and scorched my knuckles before I noticed. Brother? She finally saw me, yanking her hand free. I told you not to come. I said nothing, just pulled her to the car and tucked her inside. Kyle took 2 hesitant steps. Brother, I'm Serena's friend. Kyle. The name Serena on his tongue felt like sandpaper. I met his eyes for a second, then got in and started the engine. Back home I flicked on the living room light and sat, frowning at the girl fidgeting by the door. She's 22 now. Nothing like the kid I found shivering in the rain. Time had burned off every trace of baby fat. She didn't throw herself at my knees anymore when she'd screwed up. The silence stretched until I broke it. You asked me to stay away so you could... What, exactly? She studied the floor. I lowered my eyes, lit a cigarette. Are you dating? She lifted her gaze, drifted over, and rested her head on my shoulder like old times. Brother, you promised, after graduation I could date whoever I wanted. Yes, I had. Senior year, the counselor caught her holding hands with some trumpet player. I chewed her out, then softened it with that exact vow. Back then I hadn't guessed my own feelings would jump the fence. She was close enough that her perfume, light, citrus, slipped under my guard. I killed the cigarette and rubbed her head. Go to bed. She shook it off. Brother, I'm going out with Kyle. I looked her over, nude pink shadow on her lids, a stubborn spark underneath. Break up with him. The words cracked like a slap. She sprang to her feet. You can't play dictator. Dictator? New one. I'd been handsome, gentle, unreasonable, overprotective, never dictator. I caught her wrist. Even inside the warm house her fingers were ice, the way they'd always been. When we'd shared one bed she'd sneak to the couch at 2 a.m., wedge her frozen feet against me, and I'd wrap them until morning. I stared straight into her eyes, clear as spring water. Some feelings you can't cage. I was done trying. I brushed her cheek. She shrank a fraction, uncertainty flickering. Serena, I said quietly, marry me. She went statue still. Brother, have you been drinking? She punched my arm. Ethan, if you drove drunk just to pick me up I'll kill you. Neat deflection. She'd always known how to refuse without bruises. I'm sober. Since the words were out, I wanted an answer, even if her dodge had already half frozen my heart. I'm asking you, Serena. Brother, it's chilly. I'm sleepy. Aren't you tired? She yawned, gaze darting everywhere. I clamped her wrist before she could bolt. I'm not cold, not tired. Answer me, will you marry me? She threw my hand off. Ethan, you're sick. Why wreck everything? Let's just sleep, wake up, and pretend this never happened, please? I shook my head. No, you're my brother. The sentence landed like a verdict. So that's the bottom line, always the big brother. Nothing more, nothing reborn. I started to speak, but she cut in. I have a boyfriend, Kyle. Tonight never leaves this room. You'll always be my brother. Her phone rang into the hush. She snatched it. Serena, you home safe? Kyle's gentle voice floated out. A name I thought was mine alone, now shared. She answered as softly. Kyle? Yeah. I miss you too. The date's still on. I'll leave now. She hung up, glanced at me once, and walked out. I sat there, lit a fresh cigarette, and watched the ember crawl toward the filter until it died. Ash drifted across the coffee table like the remains of whatever I'd felt. My phone buzzed. WhatsApp. Serena, brother, not coming home tonight. Kyle's taking me to watch the sunrise. That day was my birthday, and the day I decided to stop loving Serena, to ease Serena into accepting Maya. I kept bringing Maya home. Maya showered her with little gifts, lip gloss, keychains, strawberry shortcake from the bakery downtown, and every last item turned up broken in the trash the next morning. I cooked a full dinner and called Serena 3 times. She sent me straight to voicemail. She rolled in at 3 a.m., cheeks flushed telltale red. I poured honey water and pushed it toward her. Drink. No hangover tomorrow. Serena didn't take the cup. Instead, she swatted it out of my hand and sent it crashing to the floor. I'm not drinking it. Go give it to your precious Maya. Sticky honey water splashed over my fingers and soaked my pant legs. I looked at her, exasperated. You drunk? She gave a soft laugh. Nope, only had 3 beers. Then why were you acting like a sloppy drunk in front of me? I raised my voice, but Serena didn't flinch. She swayed to the couch, plucked a cigarette from the pack I'd left on the table, and lit it. Ethan, didn't you say you liked me? So how come you're messing around with that bitch Maya now? I lifted my hand and slapped her across the face. You hit me? me? It was the first time I'd ever laid a hand on her. When we were kids, no matter how wild she got, teasing me, brawling in the street, whatever trouble she stirred up, I never once hit her. Serena dropped the cigarette on the carpet and lunged at me. You hit me for Maya's sake. You bastard. You said you loved me, that you wanted to marry me. So why are you so good to her now? I caught her flailing wrists. Serena, that was the first and I want it to be the last. Then I flung her hands away. I get it. You feel like the person who used to spoil you most has been stolen. And it burns. She tilted her head, glaring. I went on. What happens between you and Kyle is no longer my business. And I meant that. By the same token, what happens between Maya and me is none of yours. Don't ever spew garbage like that again. I don't want to hear it. I did love you, once. But now you're just my little sister to me. You're an adult now. And I've done everything I can. If you keep throwing tantrums, then move out. Next morning when I woke, Serena's bedroom door was still shut. I shook my head and left her be. I figured she needed time to sort herself out. That night the door was still closed. After I cooked dinner and called her, nobody answered. I pushed her door open. Anything she could carry was gone. I checked my room and the living room. Plenty of valuables had vanished too. I sat on the couch, smoked a cigarette down to the filter, then called her phone. Ring, click, ring, click. Every call cut after one buzz. She'd blocked me. I kept dialing every day, but she never unblocked me. Finally, too worried to sit still, Maya and I drove to Riverdale. Her professor saw me and frowned. Serena withdrew last week. I froze. One argument, and she dropped out. I asked around. Students told me Kyle had quit months ago. The two of them had rented a place and moved in together. Outside the duplex, Maya kept soothing me. Don't lose it. Okay, kids rebel. We'll talk sense into her. Or we can all study abroad if it comes to that. Swallowing the rage, I pounded on the door. No answer. A bad feeling crawled up my spine. Ethan, maybe they're out. Let's wait. They have to come home sometime. We waited until after 2 a.m. before Kyle showed, humming drunk. The second he spotted me, he bolted. I tackled him with a kick to the gut. Where's Serena? My kick must have sobered him. He scrambled up and vanished down the alley. Maya shot me a grave look. I sucked in a breath, then kicked the flimsy door in. Serena's wrist was tied to the bed frame, ankles bound, a filthy rag stuffed in her mouth. I yanked the rag free, and she sobbed. Brother, I was wrong. Bro, Maya dialed 911. In the ambulance, Serena clung to me, refusing to let go. Seeing the bruises on her face and arms, I could guess what that bastard had done. Bro, it's all my fault. I should have listened. Forgive me, please. I stroked her hair and said nothing. After the exam, the cops nabbed Kyle. Luckily, it was only surface wounds. The doctor said ointment would fix her up. Back home, she still wouldn't release me, gripping tight. Maya handed me a glass of water. I'll head out. Call if you need me. I nodded. Once Maya left, Serena shifted from hugging me to clutching my shirt. Bro, I messed up. Kyle's a monster. Tears streamed. He cheated. And when I caught him, he hit me. He took every valuable, snatched my phone, tied me up so I couldn't leave. If I fought back, he beat me worse. Bro, I swear I get it now. I should have believed you. Forgive me? I spoke gently. Hey, Serena. Big brother's never blamed you. Kyle's in custody. He'll pay. I promise. She wiped her face. Bro, you once said you'd marry me. So marry me now. Okay, let me be your wife. After I finally coaxed her to sleep, I called Maya. Our wedding was set for early next year. I just hung up when I saw Serena in the doorway. Bro, you're marrying Maya? She stared, blank. I sighed. Serena, it's late. Go to bed. She rushed over, arms around me, kissing me frantically. Bro, you said you loved me. You can't marry someone else. You can only marry me. I eased her back. Serena, stop this. I turned to leave. She yanked off her sweater and hugged me from behind. Bro, Ethan, let's get married. Please. I rubbed my temples. Put your clothes on. Enough. Ethan. Do you despise me? Think I'm dirty now, right? Eyes shut. I grabbed the quilt and wrapped her in it. Serena, I could never despise you. Then why won't you marry me? Tears soaked the fabric. Before, I was just childish. I didn't know what love was. Now I do. The only person who truly cares is you. You're the only one who's ever loved me. Bro, let's marry and leave. Start over somewhere no one knows us. Like before, just the two of us against the world. I wiped her cheeks. Serena, listen, I'll always be your big brother. Then I walked out. Yes, I'd loved her, once. But the day she believed some so-called boyfriend over me without a word, that love shattered into splinters. After being with Maya, I finally understood Real love isn't what I thought it was. Back then Serena was all I had, so I funneled every feeling toward her. I hadn't known where affection ended and romance began. I arranged for Serena to study overseas. Maya and I flew with her to the gate. Serena still wouldn't speak to Maya, not a single word. Maya didn't mind. She offered to fetch coffee so Serena and I could say goodbye. Bro, if you ever dump Maya, tell me. I'll hop on a plane and marry you. I said nothing, just waved. Seriously, bro, I only just realized I really love you. I patted her shoulder. Text me when you land. After she disappeared through security, Maya handed me a latte. Ethan, she's in love with you. I chuckled. Kids, they don't know what love is. Besides, she calls me brother. That's all I'll ever be. Maya shook her head. It's because she's young that she didn't understand at first. She mistook sweet talk for love. When she finally grew up and looked back, she saw what she'd lost. I slipped an arm around Maya's waist and kissed her. As long as I don't lose you, nothing else matters. Whether Maya's words were true or not didn't matter anymore. Serena and I were finished. People figure things out eventually, and in doing so, they lose someone, don't they?